Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. So, can Manchester United get qualification for the Champions League? Now, we only need 1 point today against Leicester to get qualification for the Champions League. If we beat Leicester, we will finish third. We could get an extra £70 million in revenue as well if we get qualification for the Champions League. And we know the importance of Champions League qualification for our players, attracting players, and our financial structure. And as you all know, the summer transfer window is opening tomorrow. If we get qualification for the Champions League, I think our transfer budget will be revealed. Because Solskjaer did say quite a few weeks ago he's unsure what our transfer budget's going to be due to the financial impacts of the coronavirus pandemic. Solskjaer has also been speaking about our preparation for next season, and he's also been speaking about our transfer plans. I know the new season starts on the 12th of September. But we must win this game today against Leicester because it is a top 4 decider. Solskjaer has demanded that Manchester United go there and win. He's also revealed his tactical game plan. We've got to go there on the front foot. We've got to go there and attack. We've got to defend correctly. And we've also, got to take our chances. We can't play for the point today because if we do that, then, we will get punished. Like I said, we are unbeaten in our last 13 Premier League games. So we have been in a good vein of form. But like I said on my preview, it's going to be a difficult game today against Leicester because I know Leicester have been in a bad vein of form recently. But they've still enjoyed a very, very good season. I think Brendan Rodgers has done a very, very good job with Leicester. He has been at Leicester now over the year. Obviously, earlier on in the season, he signed, was it a 5 or 5.5 year deal with Leicester? So he's under contract with Leicester till 2025. Leicester recruited quite a few good players in recent years. Obviously, they brought the likes of Dennis Pryor in from Sampdoria. They brought Youri Tielemans in, who I think is Leicester's most expensive signing. They paid around £40 million for him. They brought the likes of James Justin in. And they also bought Perez in. And they've lost quite a few of their imperative players in recent years. They lost Harry Maguire to us. They lost Raheem Mahrez. They also lost Danny Drinkwater. They also lost N'Golo Kante. And they've lost a few of their other players. The good news is from our perspective that I think Leicester are missing around 5 or 6 players for today's game. Like I said on my preview and that, I think Ben Chilwell's out for Leicester. Also too, Christian Fuchs is out. Marte's out, James Maddison's out, Marco Brighton's out, and Ricardo Pereira's out. And I think they've also got a player suspended. We have got a good record against Leicester. We are unbeaten in our last 10 league games against them. I think the last time we lost to Leicester was back in 2014. And we did lose that game by 5-3. That was back under the Louis van Gaal era. So Leicester have only won 1 of their 13 Premier League home games against us. We beat them earlier on in the season by 1-0 at Old Trafford. And we're beating them last season at the King Power Stadium. The good news is that, Bay and Luke Shaw could be playing today for Manchester United. Like I said, Bay's recently been out with a head injury. But the good news is his head injury, was not too severe. My only element of concern about Eric Bay is that he is injury prone. And Luke Shaw, he's missed the last 3 games with an ankle injury. And same sort of thing with Eric Bay. My only element of concern about Luke Shaw is that he's injury prone. Obviously, he's our first choice left back, and I think he'll probably remain our first choice left back for next season. We know that we've obviously got Tuanzebe and Phil Jones out with injury. But I do expect Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to make some changes from the 1-1 draw with West Ham. And all of that. Obviously, we've got the Europa League games to look forward to in August. Like I said, the Europa League is also a priority for us because that is a chance for us winning the trophy under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Solskjaer's been at Manchester United now over a year and a half, and we've not yet won out in terms of silverware under him. And I think we are emerged as one of the favourites to win the Europa League. But if we win the Europa League anyway, we'd get automatic qualification for the Champions League. We're 5-0 up against Lask from the first leg. We play Lask in the second leg on the 5th of August. And the quarter-finals of the Europa League matches are played on the 10th and the 11th of August. Obviously, we're more or less into the quarter-finals. We're more or less into the quarter-finals and all of that. So that's a priority for us. And like I said, next season, Solskjaer's going to have bigger expectations to exceed. Because obviously, next season, our expectations will be to challenge for the Premier League title. And we've got to spend money to compete with the likes of Manchester City and Liverpool. I'm hopeful that we can win a title under Solskjaer. If we could do this, it would be our 21st title in total, because as it stands at the moment, we've won 20 titles and 13 of them are Premier League titles. So we are the most successful team in Premier League history, but this has been the 7th season now. We've failed to mount any kind of title challenge up, and we haven't won the Premier League since 2013. So last time we won it was in Alex Ferguson's last season. Solskjaer's been talking a lot with Ed Woodward, about his transfer plans. Solskjaer's obviously, told Ed Woodward the areas where he wants to strengthen up in the Man United team, and I think we're looking to recommend a striker in. We're also looking to recommend a right winger in. We're looking to recommend a centre defensive midfielder. I think we're also looking to recommend a centre half in, even though we've got like 7 centre halves in the team. And I think we're also looking to recommend a left back in. So he's confirmed his transfer priorities. But at this moment in time, his transfer strategies are difficult amid the revenue uncertainty. But if we get a point or beat Leicester today, then I think, we'll know what's going to be happening in the summer transfer window and all of that. But, these actually a lot of players on our agenda. Solskjaer did recently say that he's targeting 5 players to overhaul the Manchester United squad. Because he probably believes we need around 4 or 5 signings, to be back being a competitive elite level football club. At the start of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's managerial tenure, he said he wanted to make around 9 signings. He made this agreement with Mike Phelan, who's our assistant, and so far, Solskjaer's made 5 signings at the football club. Well, he's made 4 permanent signings. Obviously, last summer got Daniel James permanently, got Wan-Bissaka permanently, got Harry Maguire permanently, and in January got Bruno Fernandes permanently, but he got Odin Ighalo on loan. But I think the players he's recommended into the football club so far have done very, very well. And he's spent just over £200 million on these players. Solskjaer's also got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended into the football club. I think we've seen over 20 players leave Man United since Solskjaer came in. We've seen Ashley Young leave the football club this year. After he endured 8.5 years at Manchester United, he went to Inter Milan. We also saw Valencia leave the football club last summer. He endured 10 years at the club. We also saw Chris Smalling go out on loan to Roma last summer. We know that we'll try to get rid of him permanently. We saw Rojo go out on loan to Estudiantes this year. We're looking to get rid of him permanently. We saw Matteo Darmian leave the football club last summer. We saw Herrera leave the club after he endured 5 years at Man United. We saw Marouane Fellaini leave in January 2019. He was the first player to leave Man United since Solskjaer came in. We saw Lukaku go to Inter Milan last summer. We also saw Sanchez go on loan to Inter Milan last summer. We're looking to get rid of Sanchez permanently. And Angel Gomez recently left the football club. We've got Dean Enton out on loan. We've got Joe Pereira out on loan. So it's good that Solskjaer has got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he came in. But obviously, he's planning to get rid of more of the deadwood in the summer transfer window. I think we're going to get rid of at least 6 players in the summer transfer window. And if we can get rid of players in the summer transfer window, then we'll generate money. We will generate money and all of that. But the other month, our financial figures got revealed, didn't there? Was it a couple of months ago now? It said our net debt was just over 429 million, and it said our debt had risen up by almost 130 million pounds. Ed Woodward did say, don't forget, a few months ago that we won't do business as usual in the summer transfer window, but he did say, we will remain competitive. But the summer transfer window is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's is going to be his fourth transfer window as Manchester United manager. And like I said to you before, even if we don't get qualification for the Champions League and if we don't succeed in the Europa League, Solskjaer will still be Manchester United manager next season, because it is a transition period and it has been a transition period for a while. Don't forget, earlier on in the season, we'd enjoyed our worst start ever to a Premier League season. And, at that point, there was a lot of talks about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer getting sacked from the football club. But I give you the main explanations why I didn't get sacked as Manchester United manager. But, like I said, I don't know if he's the foreseeable future for Man United. Time will tell. Like I said, I have seen improvements since January under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and that. I think our recruitment's definitely improved under him, because we have been criticised for several years, reflecting how poor our recruitment policy's been. We've also been criticised for overpaying for players. We've been criticised for that. We've been criticised for our poor selection of managers and that. And, for several years, we've been critical of Ed Woodward. We've also been very, very critical of the Glazers. Woodward's been with us since 2012 and the Glazers have been with us since 2005. And I was also very, very critical of Solskjaer earlier on in the season. But Solskjaer is our 4th permanent manager since the Ferguson era. We've sacked 3 managers since the Ferguson era, and that was David Moyes, Louis van Gaal and Jose Mourinho. So we've had different managers with different philosophies. Not only that, we spent 900 odd million pounds on players since Ferguson left. We've recruited a good 32, 33 players in since Ferguson left. And I think a lot of the players we have brought in haven't been the right calibre players for Man United. Under Moyes, we brought Fellaini and Juan Mata in. Under Van Gaal, we brought around 16 players in. Brought likes of Schneiderlin in, Sebastian Schweinsteiger, Di Maria, Memphis Depay, Falcao, Herrera, Rojo, Darmian, Blind, Shaw, Martial, they're still at the club, of course. Romero, I think we brought him in on a free. But a lot of the players that Van Gaal brought in have now left the club. Mourinho, he recommended 11 players into Man United and spent, was it 400 million or just under 400 million pounds? The vast majority of this team is Jose Mourinho's. Let's put that into the equation. There's only a few players that have left who Jose Mourinho brought in. So Solskjaer's inheriting players from other managerial eras. But Solskjaer's looking to build a team that is capable of challenging and winning big trophies, because we want to compete and win the biggest trophies, because that's, what football's all about, and that's what Manchester United is all about, because we have won 45 trophies in our history, I think. Obviously, 38 of them trophies came under the Alex Ferguson era. We've only won 3 trophies in the last 7 years, I think. 4, if you want to count the Community Shield, won the FA Cup under Van Gaal and the Europa League and the League Cup under the Jose Mourinho era, and also to the Community Shield. But like I said, I don't think no one will ever replicate Ferguson's legacy at Manchester United. No one will last as long as Alex Ferguson did. No manager in general will do that, but I still think we can get back to where I want to be. Like I said, Ferguson enjoyed 26 years at the club, enjoyed 22 years of success. Because let's put into the equation, Ferguson didn't win out in his first 4 years at Manchester United. But vast majority of our success came under Ferguson. Obviously, if Ferguson had got sacked after that 4 years, we're not winning nothing, wouldn't have had hardly any success. Because before Ferguson, I think we had Ron Atkinson weren't so good under him. We had Frank O'Farrell back in 70s, was it? You know, we got relegated under Frank O'Farrell back in 1974, which is 40 odd years ago. That's a good 40 odd years ago now, yeah. Weren't good under Wolf McGuinness. Wolf McGuinness endured 18 months at the football club. I think he only managed to recruit one player in. So there you go. But I think in the last 7 years anyway, we have made a lot of mistakes. That's probably one of the main explanations why we have been so inconsistent. You know, but I think, like I've said, like Solskjaer recently said, the team have shown that they are going places because we have really, really improved. The players are progressing. I think also too the fitness levels have improved. And Solskjaer gave us 5 reasons behind our unbeaten run, and that's because he said we've had belief, we've had confidence. You know, the signing of Bruno Fernandes. You know, because Bruno Fernandes has definitely made the difference in the team. I think Bruno Fernandes has looked a bit off the pace in the last 3 games or so. He's lacked that composure, which is unusual of him, but I still think he's been a fantastic signing for Manchester United. We got Bruno Fernandes in January, don't forget, from Lisbon. You know, he scored like 9 goals for the club since he came in. Don't forget, Bruno Fernandes became the first Man United player to win Player of the Month back-to-back, you know, since Cristiano Ronaldo. But, yeah. So, these are the reasons behind our unbeaten run. But there's still things that we need to improve on without a shadow of a doubt. You know, I think we need to keep the ball better. We need to be quicker on the ball. We need to be quicker on the flanks. I know the likes of Rashford, Martial and Greenwood, you know, they've been in scintillating form. But I still think we need to be a bit more clinical in front of goal. I think, you know, defensively, we need to improve. Maybe our football needs to look a bit more expansive. Maybe Solskjaer needs to improve his decision-making slightly because in the vast majority of our games since the start of the season, you know, Solskjaer has been very tactically naive, and he's been very tactically naive, hasn't he? You know, he hasn't really had a plan A, hasn't really had a plan B. But there again, on the other hand, in some games, Solskjaer, you know, showed some tactical flexibility where he has got it right and that. But I think he should get it right today in the game against Leicester. He really, really should. Don't forget, there was 5 games in a row in the Premier League that Solskjaer went with the exact same team. That wasn't so long ago, and that's the first time we've done that since February 1993. You know, Solskjaer's got managerial experience behind him now. You know, flexing how long he's been at Man United, and, you know, Man United is the 3rd club in his managerial career. Because before he was at us, he was at Mulder, and before he was at Mulder, he was at Cardiff. So he's learned quite a lot, you know, flexing how long he's been with the football club. I think Solskjaer's also, you know, given everybody their chances more or less, and he's promoted the youth very, very well. You know, the young players have been given their chances. You know, Greenwood's been doing well. You know, Brandon Williams has played quite a lot of games this season. But there's some young players that have found game time hard. You know, Tahith Chon's found game time hard. You've had James Garner that's found game time hard. You've had Diego Dalot that's found game time hard. James Garner. By the way, Ethan Laird recently got promoted into the senior squad. But we have got a lot of good young players coming through. We really, really have. And I think we need to Solskjaer's got a goalkeeping decision to make. I think in the game today against Leicester, he's going to start David De Gea. He's definitely going to start David De Gea because David De Gea is our number 1 goalkeeper and he has been our number 1 for several years. But David De Gea has been criticised a lot, you know, reflecting how poor he's been for the last few years. Because he has been a liability in the last couple of years, reflecting on his calamitous mistakes, David De Gea's. Possibly for our Europa League games next month, Sergio Romero will start. This has been David De Gea's 9th season at Manchester United, so he's been a long servant. You know, he's approaching his 10th year at the football club, and David De Gea did recently say he intends to stay at Man United for several years. And if David De Gea starts the game today, it will be his 404th appearance for the football club in all competitions. As it stands at the moment, David De Gea has made 403 appearances for the football club in all competitions. But like I said, he's had 7 good years out of the 9 years he's been with us. I don't think we'll sell David De Gea in the summer transfer window. But if we was to sell him maybe next year, or if we was to sell him the year after, or whenever, we'd still get more than the 17 or 18 million pounds that we paid for him from Atletico Madrid. Because that's how I think we paid 17 or 18 million for him from Atletico Madrid back in 2011. And when David De Gea leaves Manchester United, I think he'll go back to Spain anyway. I've already given you the main explanations, because he was born in Spain, relatives from Spain, girlfriend from Spain, began his footballing career in Spain, and back in 2015 he was close to joining Real Madrid, but due to a fax machine the deal never materialised. Don't forget, David De Gea is on 375 grand a week at Man United, so he's the highest paid goalkeeper in the world, and he's the highest paid at the football club, is David De Gea. But Solskjaer was talking about him the other week, saying that he's been the best goalkeeper in the world for the last 9 or 10 years, and he is in his late 20s. Because David De Gea has won everything domestically, and he's won individual awards reflecting on his good run of performances. Possibly Dean Henderson could become our number 1 for next season. But anyway, you know the players that Man United are in for. Jadon Sancho's on our agenda. We want to get a deal over the line for him. Jack Grealish, he's another one of our priority targets. If Villa get relegated, I think Grealish will leave. But if Villa were to stay up, then possibly Grealish could stay at Villa for another season. The likes of Nathan Ake from Bournemouth's been on our agenda recently. He's a centre-half. Tyrone Mings, he's also been on our agenda as well. There's already 2 young players that have turned down moves to Man United, and that was Erling Haaland and Jude Bellingham. So it's going to be interesting to see how we approach the summer transfer window. If we don't get qualification for the Champions League, then we're going to find it very difficult in the summer transfer window to get the players that we want in. Because if we're back in the Europa League for next season, I think we're only going to get around 30 million for that, and that's totally comparison to the 80 million we could get for getting into the Champions League. So there you go. But I am really looking forward to the game today, and other teams are going to recruit as well, and that's another thing we've got to look at. Chelsea have done very good recruitment so far. I think Chelsea have signed 3 players. I think they got Werner from RB Leipzig for 48 million. They got Hakim Ziyech in February for around 37 or 38 million. And if I'm right, and they just recently signed Kai Havertz from Leverkusen for around 80 million pounds. So that's around 160 million pounds that Chelsea has spent on 3 players. And I think Chelsea are going to try and make more signings. Obviously, they're in search for a goalkeeper to replace Kepa Arrizabalaga. They're looking at Dean Henderson from us. They're looking at Jan Oblak from Madrid, like Man United are looking at Oblak as well. So Chelsea have done very good business, so they could be in there with a shout for next season. Maybe Liverpool could make 1 or 2 signings. Not too sure about Arsenal. Manchester City, got their ban over to Manchester City got their 2-year ban from the Champions League overturned by CAS. So now they could get the players that they want, and City are looking to get a centre half. So yeah. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very soon.